A very good morning to all students. In this video today I will explain you the concept of brief history of programming language. It is the unit number 1 part of our syllabus. So programming language principles. So computer programming is the act of writing computer programs which are a sequence of instructions written using a computer programming language to perform a specified task by the computer. Means what? When we start to learn any language in real world, so what we do first we do to follow the predefined rules related to that language, use some inbuilt vocabularies and basic syntaxes, and using all the things we can try to learn the new languages. Suppose if we want to learn English language, then first what we do, first we need to learn alphabets, then we need to learn some grammar techniques, then we need to learn some special symbols. So all the combination of these three things, we can combine them and start to write the word, then statement, then paragraph. Means one by one we can write the set of instructions. So in this way we start to learn the English language. So same here, for learning the computer programming languages also we need to use some predefined rules and vocabularies. Those are available in a computer programming languages, and using the various syntaxes we need to follow the instructions on the computer, because computer is a machine, it will not perform individually any task. So if we want to take the expected outcome from the computer machine, or if we want to display some desired output on a computer machine, we need to give some instructions. So for writing the instructions we need to follow some basic rules according with their syntax and predefined rules. Then and then only computer can generate the required output for the users. So a computer system is a simply machine, and hence it cannot perform any work. Therefore, in order to make it functional, different languages are developed, so which are known as programming language or simply computer language. So over the last 2 decades ago, lots of computer languages have been developed, but each language has their own set of vocabulary and predefined rules along with the basic syntaxes. So if we need to write the computer language, we need to follow the predefined rules along with the syntaxes. If we not follow the rules, and if we made any small mistake, then computer will not generate the required output. So at the time of writing the instructions on a computer, we need to follow the syntax rules also. If we made any small mistake in that syntax, our computer is not create the predefined results. So basically in computer machine, the following 3 major categories of the programming languages are used. These are called as the 3 basic languages. One is machine language, second is assembly language, and third is high level language. So machine language, which is understandable by hardware, that is called as a machine code, because it is only executable on the hardware components, that is called as a 0 and 1. So this is the language that is written for the computer hardware. Such language is affected directly by the central processing unit of a computer. And then second is the assembly language. Assembly language is a language translator, means it will convert the user code into a machine code that makes simpler and readable to the hardware components for the execution. So assembly language, it is provide the language transformer between the user and the hardware component, because it is need to easily convert the source code into a machine code to make it readable to computer hardware. And third basic type is a high level languages. So high level languages is nothing but user languages. User is used to communicate with the computer. Once user can communicate with the computer through the high level programming languages, then assembly languages are convert those into a machine language, and machine language is make executable on a hardware component. So the high level language is simply and easy to understand. It is similar like the English language. The example of high level languages are nothing but C, C++, COBOL, Fortran, BASIC. These are the basic high level languages. So high level languages are very, very important, because then through the path of the communication to the user is only based on the high level programming languages. as they help for developing various type of the software and applications also. So it is follow some basic advantages like assembly language or machine language. Users do not need to learn high level languages in order to work with it. So users need only to learn high level languages. High level languages are similar to natural languages, so therefore it is very easy to learn and understand. High level languages are designed in such a way that they detect the errors immediately. Using the high level language, it is easy to maintain, it can be easily modified. High level languages makes development faster, is comparatively cheaper to develop, and it is easier to document. So high level languages are nothing but the outer layer of the structure of computer software, because through the outer layer users can communicate with only the computer machine. So to study of programming languages is useful and necessary because the knowledge and expertise gained provide the following benefits. So we need to gain useful insights into in-critic design principles that govern programming language. Through the computer programming language, enhance ability to develop the effective and efficient algorithms. It will be basically improve the existing programming language. It increase vocabulary of useful programming constructs. It allows for better choice of programming languages. Make it easier to learn a new programming language. It is also make it easier to design and construct a programming language. Improve one's capacity to communicate ideas in computer science. Better understanding of the significance of language implementation issues. So various languages are developed decades ago, and various new technologies, new programming languages also currently implemented on a market. So what are the previous languages? Those are developed in 1950s. First is Fortran and Lisp is developed. After that 1960s Simula, COBOL, RPG, Alcol, PLI, those languages are implemented. In 1970s Ada, C, Pascal, Prolog, Smalltalk, these languages are implemented in computer system. Then 1980s C++, ML, IFL, visual languages. In 1990 Java, hypermedia languages, visual languages, Ada 95. And current in the century of 2020, the various new languages are invented in industries. Those are nothing but Python, PHP, Ruby, Swift, C#. So all these new technologies are come in a market. Every new inventions are included for the programming languages according to the new technology. So according to the new technology, a very big changes or very big new versions are released in a market based on the client demand and market demand. So every year the new languages the computer industry need to develop or adapted in a market, because based on the client demand or the need of the market changing principles. So related to computer programming languages, we need to follow some criteria for evaluating the programming languages. So we will see or learn those criteria. First is readability. So whatever we learn the computer programming language, it must be clear and understandable. That is readability. It should be readable to all. Then simplicity. It should be easy to learn. Means it also affects the understandability of the language and how it is easy for learn. So its syntax should be easy for learning, and it should not get more time or spend more time for learning the language. Then orthogonality, which means it provides the primitive features are independent of the context in which they can be used. Means whatever the data types or value they have used, it should be specifically defined in a primary level. Then support for abstraction means every time, rather than providing all the details, at the time of calculating the result, the language should be give only the specific details and hiding the remaining part. Then program verification. So whatever the language provide proof from the program correctness via formal or informal methods, that will be affected on the usefulness. So we must need to verify the program. Means whatever we write the set of instructions using the predefined rules and syntax, it should be need to verify once again before going to calculate the desired outputs. And programming environment. So programming environment, it should be user friendly, means all the things or whatever user want to use at the time of writing the instruction, it must be visible on that environment. So programming environment must be user friendly, means whatever they want to use, some buttons and icons, all these are must be visible on that particular screen. So that's why programming environment is very important for writing the set of instruction, and it should be user friendly. Within a quick second of time, it should be available in front of user for writing the program. Then portability. Portability means what? Once you develop the instructions on any machine and sometime you want to execute those instructions in another machine, then another machine is also applicable to execute such type of the instruction. So that is called as a portability. Means what? The two examples of that computer programming languages, that is nothing but C++ and Java, are very portable language, because once we write the code for one machine, it will be executable on another machine, and in Java it is possible due to only the Java virtual machine. It is one of the technique which is used in a Java programming language. Through that technique, we can possible to execute the code of one computer into another computer. Criteria for evaluating programming languages. So next criteria is a control statement. So whatever we write the set of instructions in our program, sometime for the execution we need to make some decisions. So based on the decisions we need to execute the code. So we need to check if there are ambiguities present or not. If present, we need to clear that ambiguity. The next is use of reserved words. Reserved words means what? In programming languages, some words are reserved for a basic purpose and we cannot use those words in another purpose. So we need to check whether we have used some words or not. If we use some reserved words in our set of instructions, then computer does not generate the required output. Computer will show the errors when we make a mistake by using the reverse words. So for every programming language, in their predefined rule, they have used some words, reserved words, for some time functions, for some time printing statement, for some time reading statement. So we cannot use those words in another task. The next criteria is a type checking. So does the language have a straightened type checking mechanism at compile time rather than execution time? The former is less costly, that more means what? The language is based on which type of the compilation, compile rather than execution. If compilation and execution is happen at both time, it must be less costly and there it must be desirable than the latter. The next criteria is a exception handling. Exception handling means what? So this criteria is useful for some basic languages, that is C++, Java, Ada. It is not applicable to C, because exception handling means what? When we write lots of instructions in a computer, and if we want to execute those instructions on a computer, then sometime what happen at the time of execution, we does not know in which particular line what we written, and some errors are generated. At that time we cannot easily identifiable in which line that mistake is happened. So at that time some programming languages can use the concept exception handling. Through this concept we can easily find out in which particular line mistake is happened and we can easily go to that particular line and make the instructions correct. So that's why this criteria is also applicable for programming language. The input and output processing is very important, because without having this process we cannot generate any single task on a computer. So language must be support both input and output data, and it is performed according to the file process. And finally, usage cost. So the usage cost of programming language is comparison of several constitution. So it is based on which cost? Training cost, development cost, compilation cost, program execution cost, marketing cost, unreliability cost, and maintenance cost. So after saying this criterion of programming languages, the next point is programming environment and compilation process. So how compilation process will be occur? So first we will see through this figure. This is the editor. Editor is nothing but text editor. Through the text editor we can type the set of instructions through the computer programming language. So that set of instruction is called as a source code. So once we write the source code in editor, we will compile that code. After compilation, it will be generate preprocessor. Sorry, not compilation. Preprocessor means what? Some additional libraries are included through the preprocessor. Then we compile our code. After compilation, it will be converted into machine code. After converted into machine code, linker can link to that code into a computer hardware, and then execution will be done. So once again I am repeat, whatever we want to write the computer languages, every language has their editor. So every language has their own editor. So using the editors, we can say also that text editor, we can write the set of instructions. That set of instruction is called as a source code. So through this source code, we can add some additional libraries which is required for the execution. So the additional libraries are linked with our source code through the preprocessor concept. Once we do the adding or linking process of source code with the standard libraries, we provide the source code for the execution. So before going to convert machine code, we first compile our program. In compilation, what happened? Compilation, our computer can check whatever we write, the instructions or statement in our editor, it will be syntactically correct or not. It will check according to the predefined rules and syntax of that language. If we made any mistake, then compiler again send it back to the text editor. Then we need to correct that mistake and then again go to process, preprocessor and compiler. And once it will be error free, then compiler can convert the source code into machine code. Then it will be given to linker. Linker can translate that again hardware component and link to the hardware for the execution. So compiler is just take a responsibility, convert the source code into a machine understandable code, and linker is a language translator which is translate the user code into a machine code. So programming paradigms. Some programming languages may also classified based on the characteristics. So following are the basic 5 classifications. So based on the programming paradigms, the computer programming languages are divided into those categories. So there are basically 5 categories. First is procedural language. Procedural language means what? It is only the structural language. It is called imperative language. These languages represent the procedural programming paradigm. Means it is always execute only top to down approach, means top to bottom approach. Whatever we write the syntaxes from first line to last line, it will only executed from that sequence only. So which examples are come under this? C, Pascal, COBOL, Fortran, RPG, 400, Algol, PLI, Fox Pro, etc. Most of the traditional languages. So these are come under the first category, that is called as a procedural language. Second is object oriented language. So object oriented programming languages represents the object oriented paradigm. Means whatever we write the instructions in this programming language, it will be executed from bottom to top. Means it is not sequence is predefined for the execution, and it is goal is centered as an object. So according to the real world model, the programs are developed under the object oriented concepts. They have centered or considered the object is a central part. So which programming languages are come under this? So Smalltalk, Simula, SAL, Java, C#, Ruby are come under the object oriented languages. So rule based languages. So rule based languages means what? In some applications they have widely used the rules, means algorithms, patterns, some structured patterns. So using that patterns and algorithms only we can feed the data, means we can fit into the instructions, and according to the patterns only we can execute the set of instructions. So which programming languages are come under this? Lisp, COLS, ML, Haskell, Scheme, etc. And then hybrid languages. These languages represent procedure as well as object. Means Hybrid is combined the concept of both procedural as well as object oriented. Procedural means what? Just it follow the process from start to end. It is not execute end to first. And object oriented means what? Real world model is considered as object and it will be execute the program execution anywhere from the program, which is going from end to top, means bottom to top. So hybrid language can combine the combination of both procedural as well as object oriented. So which languages are come under this? C++, Object Pascal, Python, Object, COBOL, Ada, etc. And last is declarative languages. Declarative languages are more sophisticated. It is basically used to create the tag languages, which is helpful for developing the web pages. So which languages are come under this? HTML hypertext markup language, VRML virtual reality markup language, and XML extensible markup language. Okay, so all these basic points we have seen under the first part of the unit number 1, that is his brief history of the programming languages. Thank you.